Good morning, Heidi Foy here with Bullfrog Creatives. We are back at you for the Season 4 Round 2 recap of the NFR Hangover show. Excuse me. You guys, before we get started, we do have a special guest this morning. Before we get started, want to give a shout out to a couple of our partners in crime. Of course, Cinch Jeans and Shirts, we're super thankful. Again, they try their best to make us look good. You guys, I am sporting Cinch today, so happy to do that, proud to do that. We also want to give a shout out to some of our other partnerships, Garden City Community College, the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Boy Hash himself, is the rodeo coach over there. So we want to give a shout out that direction. And of course, our branded buzzworm partnership and Rodeo Bum. Western slang used to describe a cowboy or cowgirl who works tirelessly to perfect their athletic skills. So much behind that brand, but we're excited to partner with them. And of course, Bullfrog Creatives, my own passion project, bringing you a subscription-based virtual recruitment community for coaches and student athletes. You guys, if you don't know about this, listen, you know where to find more information. So without further ado, let's get going with the show this morning. Good morning. So you see, we are one face short. Jim Boy is not going to be joining us this morning. He's going to try to tune in, but we have an extra. So Will Loomis, look at you, even put fancy stuff in your title. I am impressed.
Hey, yeah, actually, man, good to be on, and I'm not exactly sure how I did that. I did a show with Steve Kenyon the other day on this same platform, so I'm going to credit him. How about that?
That'll work. We don't care. We're just happy to have you here, man. And of course, Tony B. Listen, what is your thing today? The better looking Branquinho
with the show.
Yeah, I can second that.
Whatever. Listen, the longer he doesn't come on our show, the more crap he gets.
The more shots I'm going to fire at him for sure.
So that's what he gets.
Well, good morning, Will. How are you this morning?
Man, everything's good, Tony, man. Really good. Just having a cup of coffee out here on the porch of the room at the West Gate, and we're going to go outside the barrel with Flint today, and that's really all I have going on. So, just kind of a slow day.
So this is one of those days where you can kind of just actually catch your breath.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jenna actually, she's still in bed, so it's nice. It's just cool out here this morning. It's kind of good to come out here and have some quiet time and kind of reflect on last night and just see what we can do to improve that and get on the winning side of things.
For sure. Hey, before we launch into conversation here, I'm happy to say that I am not in last place in the Pro Fantasy League. I did not move up very many places, but I did move up, and I will happily take that. So I looked in this morning, and I got too many mouses to operate over here. Looked in this morning to try to figure out who our go-round winner was, and I already have my IT request in, but I can't search by round, which means that we have to click through and do math. I say we, but Tony's the math guy, so Tony gets to click through and do math. So
that is very scary that I'm the math guy. Very scary.
Between math and technology, we have so many things stacked against us. So our go-round winner for the second round is, spoiler alert, 180. Tony Branquinho. I swear we didn't fix it. If you guys go in and find that our math is wrong, just let us know. Because we were trying to click through it in a hurry.
And listen, I'm not going to get the stuff anyways.
What is it? Slim with the brim was right behind you. So it was a good round last night.
Oh my goodness. Well, the scary thing is, even whatever you send me, my wife and daughter are going to take. So, look, my wife is taking all the credit for that. Watch this. Yeah.
Truth comes out.
When we won $8,000, you didn't say we picked the team, honey. You picked the team.
you
I'm not
picked it
saying.
last
I'm just
night,
saying. I'm glad I'm locked in a different room. Oh, so Will, you said that today's kind of your slow day. When we talked to Marcus Terrio yesterday, does it feel like everything's kind of back on track now? Because that first round just felt like everything was, I mean, because it had to be pushed because of what happened there in Vegas, pushed today. And I think the PRCA and Las Vegas events did the right thing. But it felt like round one was just a tick off everywhere from the stock to the ground. And it looked like last night that everything kind of got back into a little better flow.
Yeah, last night it just, I think everybody was just, which, the first round of the NFR seems like always everybody's, got nerves or just trying to kind of get things rolling. And I do think last night was definitely ran more smoothly. Grand entry was better, with us not being able to practice, which, practice, that's grand entry, something we usually mess up every year anyway. So, but yeah, it did seem like it was more smooth yesterday.
Well, unfortunately, I've got to watch some of the highlights and the replays. Last night was date night with my wife. We went to town, went and watched a Christmas show. So I got the highlights. I got to watch it with my daughter. I love watching the grand entry because Luke used to say that is the most controlled chaos there is, even in the practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably the most dangerous part of the entire rodeo.
The whole rodeo is the grand entry.
Yeah.
Well, that sure. and the rough stock riders carrying their rigging bags past the barrel horses in that alley, probably.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you need to get in there pretty soon. You need to get in there way before the barrel horses get in there.
Oh my goodness. So we talked a little bit before we came on camera. The first night, the first pin of steers, they're from the West Coast out there flying ewes. They Luke said it on the commentary. They're bigger, they're stronger. And you mentioned they just don't have as many runs. They were a little fresher. Last night's pins, they were out of Texas, weren't they?
Jace Honey out of Southern Colorado.
Oh, Colorado, okay. And so walk us through last night's round, and you said we were talking those steers. You guys thought that the times actually be faster on them. Those steers stayed not tough, but they were stronger than you guys expected in there.
Yeah, we thought that set would be a little softer. We didn't think they would quite have the run that they did last night. And there were some guys that definitely missed the barrier. We thought Tyler Wagasback's steer was going to be on the softer end of the steers. And even kind of campaigned for him to possibly be an extra just because we thought he was on the softer end. That steer actually left and tried and kind of beat Tyler out of there. And honestly, and I hate it for Wag, but I'm glad he did because now, it's good to see steers like that we thought were on the softer end have a little bit of try and have a little effort.
Now, what pin of steers do you guys have tonight? What did this pin look like?
This will be Mundorf's. Steers are gonna be honestly, it's kind of a guessing game for us. We don't really know. They've got a lot of runs. When we threw them down on the ground, it definitely seemed like maybe there were two ends. There was a stronger end and a better end. When we threw them on the ground on Tuesday, everything should leave and try. Definitely should leave and try from the chute, and it's just gonna. I think whoever makes the best run on the ground, which it usually is, but it's just we're gonna just have to see. And then after this first round, then we'll kind of have a little better idea.
You guys have an idea on all three pins and just kind of now that first round set of steers you'll get in the 10th round. They'll go fourth time, right?
Yeah, that's right. And with them being the stronger set, we thought that would be, the better option. Them getting one more run, just hoping they would hold up a little better in that building.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I know that first round, getting to watch it, the steer that I think that looked like if a guy can get out on the barrier and he is going to be fast on it is Nick Guy steer in that first round.
Yep.
That steer was electric right there.
Yeah, he was electric. There were a lot of good steers. Dakota Eldridge ran a black ball face steer that was super on the ground. Was just behind the barrier a little bit. There was a lot of good steers, and I think that set of steers are better than they showed. I think there were definitely some guys, including myself, that could have made better runs. So it'll be interesting to see them come back in the fourth round and see kind of what they really are.
Well, like you say, you're in the fourth round. You're getting to the halfway point. Or, you've got everybody settled in by that point. Your horses are in the groove. The cowboys, your hazers, everything's kind of got a routine, and so guys will be hitting the barrier and making runs on them. So,
yeah.
So speaking of routines, what's your routine out there? I know you said today, it's kind of a slower day for you, but kind of give us a breakdown. What's a guy's day like out there on average? People think, they just get up, they go to the rodeo at night and hang out and, the 1980s, 90s version of NFR where you go to Ricky and the Red Streaks till 4 a.m. and then sleep till noon. And you guys are pretty busy.
Yeah, we are, man. We're really busy. I usually wake up in the mornings around 8:30. It's really nice actually having Clayton Hass out here and getting to ride his horses. But he runs out every morning and feeds, so that's one thing that's off my plate that I don't necessarily have to go do. And then the option's open anytime he needs to sleep in, or if his wife comes out or whatever. I will go take care of horses. That's not an issue. But it is nice to kind of have that off of my plate. So when I wake up in the morning, I can have a little bit of time in the room or outside, to myself with my wife. And then, we head over to the convention center about 10 o'clock. We start signing autographs, and there's all of my sponsors, but then also we do a signing for the Cowboy Channel. We do a signing for the PRCA. And then you have some of these other shows like Outside the Barrel with Flint. You have Live with Lucia. There's a lot of shows that people try to get you on. So I mean, you're pretty busy until 2 o'clock or so, and then after that, you try to get a bite to eat, and then pretty soon, I mean, within an hour and a half or 2 hours, you need to kind of be at the arena trying to get ready because they move the start time up to 5:45, which is awesome. It doesn't leave a lot of dead time, but it also, with it starting at 5:45, it lets a man compete and then be able to go eat dinner after. Yeah. Whereas when it started later and we got done at 9 o'clock, everything was closed.
Right.
Other than Cane's Fried Chicken and In-N-Out Burger.
Both great options.
Well, I mean, yeah, both great options. Don't get me wrong, but it's nice to be able to sit down and like last night we sat down in an Italian restaurant here at the Westgate and had a steak and actually had a good dinner and I think that's that's got a lot to do with success out here too, is actually staying on a routine and staying eating good and eat good food and try to stay healthy.
So that's staying healthy. I mean, we've talked the last several years about the Vegas crud. What do you do in advance to kind of keep yourself healthy?
I just try to stay on the vitamin C as much as I can with orange juice and oranges and everything. And the last couple of years, actually this year included, I've actually kind of gotten sick at Clayton's house. So I go to Clayton's house, Clayton Hass's house, 2 weeks before we come out here to practice and get ready. And both years I've kind of gotten sick at his house. And right now just kind of getting over it, which is nice because I'm not sick the last, 7, 8, 9, 10th round. I'm kind of sick right at the first. And then towards the end of the week, I feel better.
Really good.
So, that's, I don't know. I wish I could kind of plan it that way and just do it that way every year. But, but the Vegas crud is definitely a real thing.
Everybody's going to show up at Clayton Haas's house a week before the NFR now. Hey, we're sure to get the crud. That's all we want.
What are you getting? Let's all get it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, so besides rodeo full time, you're married, you got this going, a lot of stuff going on. Tell us what else you're doing. Right there on your ball cap. What else you got going on besides rodeo and yourself?
Yeah, last year I took a job as a rodeo coach at Northwest Mississippi Community College. It's been a program that's been around for a long time, got a lot of rich history, but the last decade or maybe decade and a half, they've just struggled, and there's just they've struggled on recruiting, they've struggled on funding, last year, last July, they wanted a new coach, and Jenna sent it to me, my wife, and it wasn't something that I really thought I wanted to do right off the bat. then when I actually decided to do it, man, it's been so rewarding ever since. And they actually moved us up to athletics, so we're an athletic program now.
Great.
And we've got a lot of really good funding coming in. We've got a lot of facial stuff gonna happen to the arena. We've got funding for an outdoor arena now. We have funding for a barn. So there's a lot of things happening in a really short amount of time, and stuff that I was thinking like in the 3 to 5 year plan are happening in the second year.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like they were just waiting to get the right person in there.
Well, it's I guess with who I am, recruiting has been a little bit easier. And then I've gotten some kids, that have reached out to me. But yeah. I've also went out and done some recruiting, and the next couple of years, I think it's going to be important to do that, but also not get crazy and get 50, 60 people on the team like a lot of these colleges do have.
Yeah.
Because I would like to stay around 25 to 30 kids, just because I think it's going to be a little bit more intimate as a rodeo team and as practice and that sort of thing. So that's kind of my plan. I would like to stay around that number. But this year here is actually my first recruiting year, and I recruited 15 kids, and we have 19 on the team now. And we're doing really well. We're actually second in the region behind the number 1 team in the nation, Missouri Valley College.
Can't beat that.
And I actually looked at the national rankings the other day, and we're actually top 20 in the nation right now. So that was really cool. And we've won some. We actually won the last college rodeo at Murray State University, pushing out Missouri Valley. So that was a really cool thing to end the first semester on.
That's super exciting. I could talk to you about recruiting and all the things for at least another hour. So we got to be careful with that.
Well, like I say, when I saw it come across, I don't know if it was my Facebook feed or whatever, I saw that you were coaching. I thought that was really cool, because that's where I met you, met your dad. I'd met your uncle Bob through my brother Luke, and they were both rodeoing. But getting to meet you and your dad there at the college finals, and when I saw you were going to be a coach, I thought that is awesome, perfect fit. You've got the drive, how to win, but you've got the personality that kids are going to gravitate towards too. But they're also going to respect when you say something; they're going to respect it, and that's. I'm just excited for you and excited for that program, because, we need these college rodeo programs to produce these young men and women that'll continue the tradition in the Western culture, not just rodeo, but we know the Western lifestyle produces the best young men and women out there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, it's important because there's so many regions around, but there's so many kids going to Texas. And I mean, that's rodeo, you know what I mean? Texas is where rodeo is. And I get that, but, it's a little bit harder where we're at, where y'all are at, or, California and, even, down in the, down New Mexico, Arizona, I know it's tough in all of those regions, just because Texas pulls so many kids out of so many states. I think that that's where it's going to be the toughest. I think recruiting is trying to get those really, really talented kids, either to come to me or to stay. Coming from Florida or Georgia or the Carolinas or even up in the northern states, in the Indianas and stuff like that. So there's a lot of talent over in that area, but they usually, they usually just kind of bypass and go straight, to Texas. And I think that's going to be something that I'm going to have to tackle.
Well, that's a hurdle. I mean, when I was coaching out in California, same deal. Got a lot of really good contestants, but hey, we want to go to Texas. We want to go compete against the best, and I understood that. But like I say, you're facing that same dilemma. But if you can get them to stay home or come to your program, give themselves a shot there. We've all seen at the college finals. I mean, I'm right here in Stephenville now. I went and worked their fundraiser. They have 150 kids on their team. I mean, that is crazy, but we've all seen it at the college finals. to where it doesn't matter what region you're from.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the best, you're going to win back
You're
there.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, yeah. We won 2 national titles this year. You know, we won the barrel racing, which Tacey Matthews made the finals, made the national finals this year, and she's been doing awesome. But we also won the steer wrestling with JT Ellison. So we won 2 national championships and also won the girls team national championship. So we're definitely a region to be reckoned with, and I hope that kids and parents alike start kind of realizing that, you know what I mean, and just trying to and hanging around. And we are a junior college, so I mean, if I can just catch them for 2 years before they want to go somewhere else, that's an option too. And another cool thing about Northwest is we're a technical college, so there are, I'm just going to say, 20 different technical degrees that a guy can get, or a girl, as far as welding, electrical, heating, and HVAC,
Yeah.
plumbing. I mean, there's just so many things that a person can do. And in this day and age, in my opinion, if you're not going on to trying to be an accountant or an engineer, a doctor, or whatever those might be, this day and age that we live in, it's almost, in my opinion, better to have those degrees, and that way the next day you can go get a job and start making a living.
Well, you guys are making it real hard to not just talk about this platform, so I'm going to real quick. I think one of the benefits of this new recruitment platform is exactly what you guys are talking about, how colleges can set themselves apart. And one, maybe this student doesn't want 150 kids on their rodeo team and they want a more intimate atmosphere. Like, students are going to be able to search that platform for the personality fit, for the structure fit that fits best for them, and then also for the academic program. Like, those trades are crucial. And I think that there are a lot of kids that are dropping off between the high school associations and the college rodeo associations because they don't even know, like, oh, I could go to a trade school and still college rodeo. That's my jam. Like, right. I feel like we're going to make some connections that have not, like, they just haven't really been made aware of. And like, that makes me really excited about the future of college rodeo, because I think we're going to see some numbers go up.
Yeah. And I think that, if I could go back, which I wouldn't change, my life's been awesome and I've been really blessed, but with me going into physical therapy, it's been great for me. But if I could go back and know that I could go for 4 years of college and leave with technically 4 different degrees.
Yeah.
It would be, and don't get me wrong, I have a welding a fence building company and weld really well myself, but there's a lot of things that I don't know about welding. And I would have loved to have gone and taken a welding class. And might at some point, because we have such a great welding program at the school. But if I could go back, that's definitely something that I would definitely look into.
Yeah, man, I just think I truly feel like there's just a lack of communication on college rodeo's part, but maybe on coach's part, and just kind of doing it the way we've always done it. So I think that we're going to be able to increase some numbers and make those connections for kids and for parents and students to be able to, I mean, let's be honest, to get their schooling paid for and rodeo. Like, you're going to find those students that go to college to rodeo, but I think it's going to provide more opportunities for those students to get an education because they rodeo.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of funny too, because I'll get some looks from parents when I ask, "Are you planning on going to a 4-year university?" And parents are like, "What? What are you asking?" And then I'll ask them about the technical programs and trades and that sort of thing, and and it's almost like they've never even really thought about it,
considered it.
And just to think that you don't have to take college algebra and comp. You know what I mean? Yeah. Public speaking, which public speaking is something that I want my kids to be in, because if they're in the rodeo world, it's something they need to be able to do. But there's just there's different ways to go about life and to make a lot of money doing it.
Well, and what you're saying about the trade schools, technical schools, it's almost like and just in mainstream society, it's put on the back burner. It's not important, but that's what runs this country. That's what makes this world go round. You look through the whole COVID deal, you know, everything's shut down, but farmers, ranchers, truck drivers, you know, the trades, they kept the country running through that. And like you say, you come out, if you go to a junior college 3 years, learn 3 trades or whatever, get certified in 3 trades, you can go right to work, not have hundreds of $1,000s in student loan debt. You could actually, as an apprentice, go to making money. And so I think what you're doing is awesome and promoting that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's you know, and then even going into that, I mean, owning your own business. You know what I mean? Going into trades and owning your own business and being your own boss. But you know, I've talked a lot about the trades, but something else I need to mention. I mean, you know, we have a nursing program, we have a physical therapist assistant program. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that the college has to offer other than just trades. But that's just something that appeals more to me, and appeals, you know, and I think for a rodeo guy or a rodeo people, I think it appeals more towards them.
That market, yeah. Well, and I would say, you guys, the question that is the least asked, but the most important is that question that you just said. What's the difference between the 4-year university and a junior college or a trade school? And I don't think students and parents don't think to ask that question, but like, there's no shame in starting at a 2-year. Like, there's a really, really good reason why I always talk to students about starting at a 2-year or a junior college or a technical college.
Well, I started at a junior college, you know, before I went and got my degree at a university. But I think like Will said, and like we've talked about, a university is not for everybody, but you can go to a junior college for 2 years and get a trade and be in the workforce by the time you're 20 or 21. And like you say, not just a trade, but nursing program, physical therapy. You can get or learn something. Hey, physical therapy, I really enjoyed this. I took this, you know, got certified at the junior college. Now I want to go to a 4-year and become a, you know, go on with my education.
Doctor physical therapy, exactly.
Yeah. So, well, that's awesome, man. I'm excited for you. That is really cool. I think that junior college right there in Mississippi did an outstanding job of bringing you in and hiring you. I think it's a win for college rodeo. It's a win for a lot of young men and young women coming up through the ranks, because you are one amazing. I call you young man because you're younger than me. When I met you, you were 18 or 19.
I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, it seems like yesterday, but we're knocking on 12 or 13 years ago. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, I tell you what though, you know, something that I did do, you know, I went back and got on that old softball field this year at the college finals, and you know, I've gotten older, but I still got it.
Oh, I don't doubt you still got it, but I'm gonna just for somebody that was in his 30s last time I played, stretch a little, because you may, you know, all of a sudden you may pull
way different,
pop a quad or pull a hammy or something.
Yeah, we beat the other coach's team in the first game, and of course they were as old as we were, and you know, we got beat in the second game by the Northwest region. They actually won it, and man, I was like, it's probably good we lost, because I don't know if I could have won another one.
I don't want a third game.
Yeah.
The Northwest. My great story about that is one year, and I was just coaching the West Coast region because the coaches, we were out in the first round playing the Northwest, and you know, fellow steer wrestler Dakota Eldridge is on the Northwest team. He batted every third person. I'm like, Dakota, you got to rotate. Cheating sucker. He's a cheating sucker.
I know. It's like it's reason. I think they I don't know. They've got a system worked out, because they had a girl on their team. I'm telling you, batted every other girl, and I'm like, that's not right. I'm telling you, it's not right. And it's pretty competitive though out there, man. It's
extremely competitive.
It's
all right. I appreciate you talking about recruiting. We all know that I need as much publicity as I can get. Let's talk about the NFR though, you guys. Cody wants to know if we fired Jim Boy.
No, he just hasn't shown up for work for 2 days.
He's on strike, apparently.
Oh, he's part of the Screen Actors Guild. He doesn't know the strike's over.
This is NFR Hangover, right? He might be hungover.
Oh, that's good chance. Well, so the breaking news, like I say, Will, you're right in the middle. The breaking news, Stetson Wright is out of the NFR. Saw the first round. He got bucked off that saddle bronc horse. The horse got to the right wall, kind of came off, and he just kind of went off. Bucked off his bull real quick. But then I saw yesterday on the deep dive with Amy Wilson's show, he and Josh Frost were on there with Tuff Ederman, and Amy's like, Stetson, how are you? And, typical right fashion, I'm healthy, wealthy, and handsome. I'm good. And I get home from that show. I was with my wife last night, and my daughter said, hey, Stetson bucked off, but she goes, it broke. She was almost in tears watching his reaction with Cody in the back. And so we rewound it and watched it. I mean, it choked me up a little bit because I know the money's important and trying to win those other 2 gold buckles because he's going to win the all-around, but trying to win the Triple Crown. But I think it's just his competitive nature. He wants to perform for the fans, and you could tell, I don't want to say it broke you, but he knew he was done when he bucked off that Star Bronc last night.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's one of the most talented guys to ever do it. I mean, it's impressive what he's done. It really is. It's tough to see that. You never want to see, a cowboy cry and that sort of thing. And, but at some point, there's got to be a time where you say, I can't. Somebody said it's like riding a 3-legged horse in Kentucky Derby. It's just something. He's so competitive and he's so talented that, at this point, I don't know that he's going to have a lot of success. So it's almost better if he just sat it out, got the gold buckle in the all around and got it, rehabbed his leg or gets it fixed or however it is. Cause I'm pretty sure it's a hamstring.
Torn hamstring. Yeah.
That I actually heard that he actually hurt at the circuit finals. I think if he starts right now, he could come back really strong next year. So, and will. So,
yeah.
Well, they said
it's heartbreaking, but that's the game we play. And, if I get hurt tonight, it's just, I mean, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. It's just, that's the game we play.
Well, they said it was I think it was Fort Worth or one of the winter rodeos where he initially, I think, strained it or hurt it. And he's just been nursing through it all year. And then I think they said it finally tore at the circuit finals in round 2 on his bull.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm getting this from my 16-year-old daughter who watches all the post and pregame shows. And, it sounded like a rubber band snapping is what he said on the ride. And so I know that his mom had said that he's scheduled for surgery after the NFR. I don't know what the recovery time is, but you know what? If anybody's going to can have a comeback story, and if he can't start rodeo until June, still look out. He's still going to be a force to reckon with.
Yeah.
So, and even Trevor Brazil there's a glitch in his all around record that one year that Ryan Jarrett went out and beat him. So even Superman has bad weeks, bad days, right. Bad weeks, bad months. So,
exactly.
But it was heartbreaking to see, but I think he made the right decision to call it for the rest of the week. Like you say, go get healed up, come back and get him next year. So,
yep, exactly.
But talking about now someone that came in with injury last year in his event, but has set the world on fire this year, Rocker Steiner, 88.5 last night, back-to-back round wins. I mean, once again, didn't see it, but my daughter goes, he made a great ride. He's pumped up. She goes, I played the cameraman. They got video him on the shoot, and he let some words fly like, that was a bucking. And somebody goes, well, he's fine again. Because he was. But,
I don't even know why they follow him with the camera, because they know he's going to talk smack.
Oh, yeah. But it brings a whole different demographic into the rodeo world, and Sid Steiner did it, and so did Bobby. So it's fun. It really is, and there are some times where I think he could be more professional. But he's an emotional guy, and he lets it fly, and he flies by the seat of his pants, and there's a lot of people in this world that love that, and there's a lot of people that should be more like that. With exceptions, but there's I'm a fan of Rocker. He's good for the sport, I think. Just because he brings a whole different side of fans in. Same as his dad did in the 2000s.
I'll say Sid and Luke, I mean, the same time rodeoing, and you watch Sid, and when he pulled his hat off, he had the cornrows, or when he take his shirt off, his flex going around, and you had old traditional cowboy. That's not rodeo. But guess what? It was on ESPN Top Plays back in the early 2000s when rodeo was getting very little mainstream airtime.
Oh yeah. You know, it's just, he wasn't really a cowboy. He's a rodeo athlete, and Jacob Talley said it way with time. You know, and but I mean, but that puts people in the stands that are standing up there swinging shirts around their head and stuff. You know what I mean? That's awesome for, you know, from a fan standpoint.
And we've got to bring people from outside the rodeo world in. We got to have something to draw them in so they understand it's not, you know, this is fun. And but then when I know you've talked to, you know, to Rocker, you've talked to Sid, you talk to them. They're some of the most humble, down to earth people that, you know, when you have a conversation, when the camera's not on, when they're not out, you know, in the arena, they're some of the nicest people in the world.
Yeah, they are. They're nice. They're really nice people. You know, and I think they would help you do anything that they could. You know, and I was fortunate enough to win Fort Worth this year, and Rocker was too, and that was pretty cool to have that moment. You know, especially in his young career, and see it having a gold buckle in the steer wrestling. You know, that was cool to kind of have that moment with them and just see his growth. And we actually won Calgary together as well. So, they're fun havers, man. They're fun havers, and I think they're good for the sport.
Oh, they're great. Well, and speaking about Rocker, I mean, he's cut the lead down on Keenan Hayes. He was over $100,000 behind. He wins 60. He's only right now about 60,000, about 70,000 behind. So I mean, he's closed that gap. He's jumped from 5th coming in up to 2nd. My man, my pro fantasy team man, Jess Pope, he's jumped up 5th from starting down there in 10th. So we're having a really good night there. But let's talk about the steer wrestling. We talked about the steer wrestling already, but last night, Stan Branquinho, who hasn't been there in a decade, stands out there in California. He's 3-9. Jesse Brown goes 4-1. So does J.D. Struckness, Dirk Kavner, 4-2. Nick Guy 4-3, and then 4-4s. Stephen Culling and Wags 4-4 split the round. And you were saying that, like I said, those steers tried a little more. You know, they were stronger than you guys thought they were going to be last night in that pin.
Yeah, we just, you know, we thought that was kind of going to be the 3-second pin, and it may be when we come back and rerun them. You know, but yeah, Stan made a great run. Steer was kind of half a step to the right. He had to slow down just to make sure the steer hit flat. Made a great run. Dirk actually it was pretty impressive what Dirk did last night to be 4-2. That steer kind of stepped at him a little bit, and he almost missed him. You know, he didn't get a very good go at him at all, but again, slowed down, got him to hit flat, and you know, that was great. There were some good runs last night. There really were. You know, my steer was supposed to just be a campaigner. He was just supposed to leave good and be pretty good on the ground, and he was. So, I mean, that's going to be another good steer to come back and possibly have. So
nice. Well, speaking of injury, like we were talking about Stetson, you go back, you look at Dirk last year, what blows his knee out right before the finals, comes and competes, and every time, I mean, it hurt me to watch him walk out after every run, but he was trying. And then he didn't start rodeoing till May this year?
Yeah, like Reading. Yeah. So,
Reading. You know, so he had a heck of a year to, you know, to climb his way back into the, you know, top 50, make it to the finals again. And I know Dirk's been one that had been knocking on the door for a long time, and up until 2 years ago, finally makes his qualification and has a really good finals in 2021. Comes in hurt in 2022, but it's great to see him back. But that just shows, you know, he went, put the time in rehab, got fixed. So, you know, and that's really.
Yeah, and another one, man, Cody Devers. He's you know, he's a second-time qualifier, and you know, in 21 he came out here and had a torn pec, and
I remember that.
You know, he tried to run a few steers with a torn pec, and in the steer wrestling, that's just, you know, not feasible, and you know, it was painful to watch that, and he actually cut his NFR, his first NFR, doing that, and you know, so it's cool to see some guys coming back from injuries and making comebacks.
That is really cool. Well, team roping, we go just like the bareback riding. We go back to back. Clint Summers and Jake Long, 3-8. I mean, just Blitz won. Ren Richard, Jeremy Bueller, 3-9. I think Joe said last night one round one might have won, fourth or fifth last night. That's how fast it was.
Yep.
Nelson Wyatt, Jonathan Torres place again. Andrew Ward, Buddy Hawkins win third. Torres and Nelson are fourth. Caleb and Junior place again. They split sixth with Caleb and Marcus. So Cole, if you're watching, if you come on the show, it's probably good for at least 4/10 faster. I put you at 4-1, you win, fourth. So, we can only bring so much luck to half the team. But team rope and the steers.
Pretty soon we're going to see how many faces we can fit in this little box.
But to me, the coolest story, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but the shot of the heel shot of last night was Coulter Todd. Derek, that steer really tried. Derek gets a hold in that steer, hits and tries to run up the rope, and Coulter pulls off a shot. And Joe Weaver goes, that's past your roping right there. Not everybody can pull off that shot. But I think Coulter Todd is such a cool story. Being gone for 12 years from the NFR, was there as a header 2 or 3 times, goes home, ranches, raises his family. But I read a really, really cool deal that Derek said. He goes, it's not about the go-round buckles. It's not about a gold buckle. It was about seeing the look on his kid's face, his wife's face, when we got that back. To watch my best friend who's been out of the game for 12 years, it's been just roping with his kids, ranching, but to see them experience that with him. And then to see that his wife, hey, you go do this with your best friend. I'll stay home. I'll take care of the ranch. We've got this. That was a pretty cool story from Derek's perspective. So,
yeah, there's so many people that which we get all the spotlight and we get all the all the glory and all the interviews and all of that stuff. There's so many people, man, that don't realize the family that it takes to make it happen, and much less a significant other, a wife, to I'm gonna say allow us to do what we do.
Yeah.
It's impressive the sacrifices that they have to make, and they do it wholeheartedly and selflessly, and it means a lot. It really does, and it takes a special person to be able to do that.
Well, I tell you what, and like I say, growing up watching it with your Uncle Bob and then doing it yourself, the support system is huge, and having those people behind you, it's amazing. And especially, like you say, out there at the finals, and it's not just, family that's blood, it's friends that are family and everything. You've got to have that, because you can't do it on your own. There's just no way. So
yeah, exactly.
That is really cool. So, well, that team roping, like I say, and I didn't get to see the interview of Jake Long, like I say, Clint Summers back to back. Clint, he's on transmission, 19-year-old head horse, won horse of the year a decade ago. And they go back-to-back round wins. Jake's got this really, really crazy colored shirt on. I didn't get to see the interview, but my daughter said he was almost in tears. It was out of respect or doing it for his uncle. So did you get to watch that, Heidi? I didn't catch it.
He didn't say a whole lot. Honestly, he couldn't. He just said that it was out of respect for his uncle, that he had passed away, I believe, and it was in his honor. So
okay, like I say,
he wasn't able to say a whole lot.
Right. Well, it was. I tell you what, that's one thing people don't understand. I think is that when you're out there in that arena, you're not just riding for yourself. It's like Will said, you're everybody that has helped you get there. You're making the run. The camera's on you. You're the one doing the interviews, but they're all riding with you. And when you win, they're winning. And so that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Saddle Bronc riding, Tanner Butner, he'll just go, he'll go 87 last night and win the round. But
where's that boy from?
What's
Wyoming. That? I said, where's that boy from? Wyoming kicked some butt in the Saddle Bronc last night. I was going to say,
first and second, huh?
Yeah.
Brody Crest, Chase Brooks, Lefty Holman, Zeke Thurston, third, fourth, and fifth. And then Damian Brennan, he was sixth. But yeah, Zeke the Freak, he's making a run at that gold buckle.
Always is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's one of those ones, I think, that with the Wrights, and you had the Hayes and all those guys, you kind of forget that Zeke's got 2-3 gold buckles already. He's always in the hunt, and he's always there. And I mean, right now, he has jumped to the lead in the world standings after 2 rounds. Now, we got 8 rounds to go, 30,000 a pop, 80,000 average, but Zeke is just doing Zeke Thurston things and just, marking them out and spurring the hide off of them. Look out for the next 8 rounds, and he's trying to capture that gold buckle, and it's fun watching.
Yep.
So. Well, and then the event that I know the least about, I just follow my wife and child's lead. They tell me what to pick, is a barrel racing. Stevie Hillman, 1362. It got fast. They got that ground figured out last night. I mean, the Thomas and Matt ground crew, it looked better last night.
So you know what is super impressive about that horse? That horse won in Pendleton. So from the absolute biggest pin to the smallest pin, that horse is a machine.
Just unreal.
That's unheard of. I mean, that's not real common. The other thing they talked about a lot last night with Stevie is that she rides a lot of different horses. So for her to show up with that same horse, like, he's something special. I like him a lot.
To go win at Pendleton and then come and be, 13, or what was he last night? I've got to find it here in all these things I've got open. But yeah, to go win the round 1362.
Yeah.
Well, and then last night, Sissy Wynn, who wins the first round, tips a barrel. So 8 out of the 15 girls, we're over half of them got barrels down.
Yep.
So right now, somebody's going to place in the average with 1 barrel down. I mean, it may be more. So
exactly.
But then Brittany just, she was 1371 last night. She pulled another check. That horse that she's on is just he looks amazing, and she's riding him great.
She's going to be hard to beat, man.
She came in with that big lead, but she is going to be very hard to beat. Lisa Clock last night, 1367. She wins third. Summer Cosell wins second, 1363. I think
Emily came out with a different horse. I'm interested. I'm kind of surprised that she didn't stick with Chongo at least one more round, and maybe she'll come back to him. That horse that Emily rode last night, I believe, was the first run in the Thomas and Mack, and
he fired last night. That's for sure.
Yeah, she may stick with her for the rest of the week.
Well, Emily's dad asked me if I wanted to clean stalls when I got out there in a few days, but they might hit me with the stall fork for saying Chongo looks a little chunky, and that's what got the barrels the first round.
You might have lost that. You might have lost that job while you were there.
Oh no, I can't go clean stalls.
Yeah.
I can do that here at home. I don't got to go to Vegas for that. I got a dog.
No, remember we were doing a trade, Tony.
Oh,
Tony cleans stalls. Emily does an interview.
Oh. Then she can pull up an old picture and say, well, this is what you used to look like, chunky, and then we'll be even.
Then we're even.
Oh. Woo, bull riding. It was the eliminator pin. I saw that on the deep dive there with Amy Wilson, Josh Frost, and Stetson. And I knew that Josh had Bayou Bengal, the Buck and Bull of the Year. And so I get home in time to watch that. And my daughter goes, how many are you going to ride? I said 3. I said, over, under. Oh, there'll be more. I said, you're going over? Yeah. Well, when 3, she goes, we tied. I'm like, no, over, under doesn't mean if you hit my number that we tie. You lost. You said over. But Jared Parsonage, I can't even say the poor guy's name, 87.5, wins it. Jeff Askey, 85.5. And then Kai Hamilton, that was I'm not opening my hand till I hear the whistle for 78 points. And with the ground split, I mean, 39,000 for first, 32 for second, 26,000 for third. That's, and three road. That was damn sure the eliminator pin last night. There was one bull, and I can't remember who had him. This bull stutter steps and then almost stands vertical. And then
that was right.
I'm like, I don't think you could have strapped Superman, the Justice League, all of the Avengers on him is going to ride that one. That bull was just
he stutter stepped almost every buck. Say that again, Will.
I was just saying there was definitely some talent. The bulls were there. They were talented last night.
They were great, man.
It was good watching. Well, and like I said, we know Stetson's out. Kai is placed in 2 rounds. He's closed the gap. He's about 60,000, about 66,000 out of first. Josh Frost, who bucked off last night, though, he's got He's about 110,000, behind Stetson for the gold buckle. With all that money out there, it's, Trey Holston is at 200,000, but in my opinion, I think it's going to be a Kai and Josh Frost battle, to close the gap. That's because Stetson's not getting on. Kai has got to be excited because he's got a shot at his first gold buckle, but it's killing him that his best friend, his buddy, his channel partner, his American family is out. And no matter what, if Kai wins the gold buckle, he will hold it, be honored. It'll be something, but part of him is going to feel something's missing because he didn't get to go head to head with Stetson. So that'll make next year's comeback even more impressive for both of them.
Yep, exactly.
But
I will say we know that Tristan has had a pretty hard fall season. I mean, not in the arena, but I know he's had some struggles outside the arena. So I am, not only is he on my team, but I'm rooting for him just personally. So I'd really like to see Tristan Hutchings get one covered just for his own mental health.
Yeah, no, his might have been the one that did the stutter step last night. I know his was pretty.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, and we know he can do it. With the success
absolutely
last year and then at the college finals as well. I mean, he can ride them. He can ride the rank ones.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Well, so I've seen a lot of chatter about, because Stetson's out so early, will they bring the 16th person up in both those events?
No,
I didn't think so.
No, it's not like the PBR where they have, the alternates on standby. It's the 15 are there, and it is what it is. And the only time anything like that's happened has been in the team roping. If like the year Jake Barnes cut his thumb off, they said, hey, you can go get the 16th guy to come rope with you, or you can enter with somebody who's entered in the rodeo but it's not in the team roping. And that would happen to be the year that Trevor was only there in the cap roping. So Corey Kuntz got the rope with Trevor. I mean, that got the rope with Trevor for the rest of the go round. So that just worked out really well.
I just seen a lot of people talking about it. So,
one thing that was talking about the bull riding, the one that has impressed me the last 2 years and this year too. I mean, you got bucked off last night, but it's the buck and bull of the year. Josh Frost and Tuff Heaterman said it yesterday on that show. He goes, Josh made the finals, and he goes, I'm very impressed because Josh made the finals. He's a professional, and yet he went and reinvented himself and come back. He goes 0 for 10 his first year at the NFR, and I think it was 2020 or whatever. He goes, technically I rode one bull, but I got 57 and I took the rewrite. So I was 0 for 10 on the books. Comes back, rides 7 the next year, wins the average. Rides 7 last year, wins second the average. And he just, Stephen Tuff said he went and worked. Most guys, when they get to that level, hey, I'm one of the 15 best in the world. But Josh went and rebuilt himself, recreated himself, and look at the career he's had. And I mean, and he's a cowboy. He's won the Litterman 4 years in a row. You watch him all year long. They talk about him on the Cowboy Channel when his wife's breakaway rope, and hey, he ropes Kaz at these big rodeos. But to see him go and have the career he's had after the first NFR he made has been extremely impressive. And so he's just one hell of a cowboy.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
Oh. I was reading his profile. He does have quite a few accolades there.
Oh yeah. He, you'll show up and just see him entered in the bulldog or entered in the calf roping, and it's but he's a pretty humble guy. He's a nice guy. I like him a lot. But like you said, I mean, you come back you make the finals, you go for 10. It kind of, it's kind of an attention getter, and it makes you go back and work harder because you come out here to make a lot of money or hopefully make a lot of money, and when you leave with nothing, it's it's kind of a punch in the gut. So you go home and fix it, come back and kick butt.
And can you break that down for us a little bit? Talking about, I mean, this is your guys' payoff. This is, I mean, you've rodeoed all year long, and I mean the standings. It says you've got 100 and whatever 1,001 going into the finals, but people don't realize that's not net. That's gross. By the time Vegas is the payoff for you guys at rodeo, that you're on the road 280 days a year, away from home, whatever it is. Vegas is a payoff to where you now can make some money doing what you love. I mean, this is a payday.
Yeah, for sure. I know, when you make the finals, I mean, you're especially now, because, I mean, it takes over 80,000 to make it in the steer house, and you're going to make some money, right off the bat. But, I mean, it's going to cost you $60,000, $65,000, $70,000 to rodeo for that year, and or maybe more. So when you get here and you have an opportunity to win 31,000 a night, or, have a mediocre finals and win 80 or 90, then that makes your year. You know what I mean? Then you can, then a guy can say that he actually maybe made 100,000 that year. So, it's huge just to have an opportunity at that kind of money. But now with them re-signing the contract till 2035, I really am excited to see what that number is. It may make a guy like me that's kind of maybe wanting to be done stick around for a few more years.
You may see some
expecting that pot to get bigger. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. With a rebid, I mean, especially with other people maybe trying to throw a bid in, maybe like Globe Life or stuff like, somebody like that. It's, make Las Vegas events step up. I mean, and if that's the case, and go around and start paying 40, 50,000 a night, then you're talking a mediocre finals is 150 or 60,000, and it's tough to walk away.
You're going to see guys like Luke, some of these got Casey Jones, guys that retired that are kind of keeping themselves in shape. Like, well, you guys, let's crack out, see if we can go win.
Yeah, be like Bear Pasco, just hanging out in the free agency and staying in shape, and I'm bringing him in for the playoffs.
Come on in. Hey, here we go. No, like I said, I know the details have not got out, but them signing a 10-year extension on top of the 2 years they've already, they got left on their current contract. It'll be interesting to see when the details come out. I've had people reach out to me. Well, does that contract include the breakaway? It better include the breakaway. I was like, I really love that people think I'm the Adam Schefter of the NFR, that I have inside scoop, and everything I know is pretty much just guessing, but I don't know if it includes the breakaway. Even I got into the discussion with my 16-year-old daughter. They need to have it. I said, they will eventually. But Larry D. Guy made a really good point. I was talking to her in April up at Prefert, at the Junior Elite camp for Prefert. And she goes, yeah, everybody wants to see it in Thomas and Mack. We all want to be in there. But there's more than just it's going to take even 15 minutes more logistics. The events in there have worked hard to get the money they've got at it. So how can we just step in and, okay, we want, we're going to get paid the same. That money's got to come from somewhere. It's not in the contract. They haven't readjusted the contract. So you're going to go to the steer wrestlers, the tie-down ropers, team ropers, bull riders, all, barrel race, all of them. Hey, we're going to pull X amount off of you to make sure everybody has equal money. And she goes, that's not fair to them. And we understand that.
Here we go. Another socialism conversation.
Yeah, exactly. But she goes, no, we understand that that's not fair to them. And we get that. And then my daughter's like, well, they should just have it, and just pay them the normal money. I said, no, that would be a whole nother blow up. Oh, they're not treating, the breakaway. And so it'd be interesting to see when this contract comes out, if it's been added, if they founded the money, because believe me, we all know the 12, 15 days that Vegas is now rodeo town, because it's not just the 10 the NFR starts, it's before and after. There's another $800 or $1 million out there they could go get, to have the right added money. So it'll be really interesting to see when the contract comes out what it says, and if breakaway is included. So one day it'll be there. Hopefully, like I told my daughter, you're 16, maybe in the next 5 years, when you qualify, you'll be in the Thomas and Mack.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, for sure.
Listen, I mean, the good thing is that we know it's coming. It might not be as fast as what some people want it to be, but look at how quickly and how fast it got to the place that it is. And maybe I will say there's probably people that don't think it was that fast, but I can remember when, like, you're done breakaway roping after college. Like, there just wasn't anything. And that wasn't that long ago, because that's when I was still roping.
Yep.
Like, you were just done. You could go to some amateurs and breakaway a little bit, but that was it. And that was like a 10, 15 year gap that, they came a long ways. And I realized 10 to 15 years is 10 to 15 years, but in the whole world of rodeo, that's a big move in that short amount of time, I feel like.
No, I agree. And, you know, I mean, you have girls making the finals now with $100,000 or over $100,000, you know, and that's, I mean, in 2 or 3 years, that's awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Top 10 in the breakaway rope in final world standings this year. 10th place had 102,001.
There you go.
Shelby Medjid is your world champion, 197,000, almost 200,000.
There's no way that anybody ever thought.
160. Martha Angeloni, 150. Sarah Angeloni, 145. Kelsey Domer, 127. I mean, 10th place had 102,000. The 15th place girl, Erin Johnson, who did not have the final she wanted, won 76,000 this year. Those are your top 15. That is crazy money. Like you say, you go 10 years ago, breakaway wasn't even. It is the fastest growing event and paying
to win a pot.
You know, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty impressive. So I think that everybody needs to kind of be patient with it. It's coming, and we'll get there. We'll get there. I know there's a lot of social media.
I heard somebody on Facebook the other day that said that they said they need to add the breakaway roping at the beginning of the rodeo or something. If I wanted to listen to a hippie sing, I could get on YouTube or something, you know, like, you know, and I'm like, I mean, that's, you know, uncalled for. I mean, it's, you know, they're doing a heck of a job with production, and, you know, an opinion like that, I mean, yeah, anyways, you know, we can have a whole nother discussion about that, but.
About keyboard warriors and well, you know, like you say, there was a lot of people, and the first night, you know, and Cowboy Channel was having streaming issues and the camera issues, and I think that was all part of the glitching, and a lot of people complaining, and I understand people pay $120 for the Cowboy Channel and the NFR package, and they're upset they can't get on. My response was, I did a spoiler alert, and I just broke it down, you guys. I remember when I had to wait till 9 o'clock to watch a tape delay on ESPN on the West Coast, and you got to watch 3 in each event. And then one year, Jim Sharp has rode 19 out of 19 bulls, you know, 10 the year before, first guy to ride 10 at the finals. He's 9 for 9. He gets on, nods his head, and then it goes to midget, giant, slalom, little people racing or something. You know, they just cut out of it because of the time constraint. And yes, it's not perfect, but man, we get to watch the NFR live. And if you got the Cowboy Channel app, you can watch the arena feed. You can listen to the in-arena announcers, or you can watch the broadcast feed. It's not perfect, but my goodness, we have come a long ways, and we get to watch it and see it. So I guess I'm more the glasses half full than half empty deal. If it cuts out and I got to reboot it, or guess what? I can go to social media and somebody's posting it. So we're very fortunate in the time we live in to where I get to watch the NFR somehow, some way. So.
Yeah, I remember staying up till 11, 12 o'clock trying to watch my uncle out here, you know, and you know.
Listen, that's where this show got its name, because back then, for all of us couch surfers, we would stay up late and watch the rodeo. By the time we get to the 5th round, like, we have stayed up late and gone to work, and we all are feeling hungover because we've been watching the rodeo. So.
Yeah,
that's where it comes from. Kind of paying some homage. Hey, before we get too far, I know we're getting real close on our time, but I want to remind you, Tony, we got to pick a rodeo bum of the round.
Oh, my goodness.
We partnered with Branded Buzzworm, and they have the rodeo bum brand, and have graciously given us, well, a lot of things to give away. So we got to pick a rodeo bum of the round. Just to give you a little background, the first round winner of the rodeo bum was Matt Reeves.
He could be the rodeo bum every night.
So we are going to send him a coffee cup or a shirt. We haven't decided yet. Poor guy. We don't know. So what happened? We didn't get to see it.
Clayton's like, did the horse hit him, or like, what's that? And I was like, I think he just fell off.
That's even better.
And the thing was, the camera, I just something was off. I could tell, you know, I didn't know. I was watching the run, and then it was when Luke brought it up. Hey, I think Matt Reeves fell off at the back end of that run. I'm like, oh my goodness. Well,
I honestly went back and watched it on video, but like, I didn't see it after after the run, I just kind of put my head down, turned around, and when I turned back around, there were 2 horses loose in the arena. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, there's got to be a video somewhere.
Well, I'm just wondering if he was looking over his shoulder, watching the run finish, and the horse, they just parted ways to the back end, or I don't know. But, and like I say, Heidi, I'm gonna yield to you because I did not watch a lot of the rodeo last night. But I would go with Rocker Steiner. I mean, back-to-back round wins. He's electric. And I'd like to give him something because the PRC is going to take some of that money he won last night for him cussing. So, yeah. I mean,
I can't wait to get to the stalls and see the fine list. Last year, by the 5th round, he was 10,000 deep in fines. So I can't wait to get out there and see what they did last
Take a look at it. Oh,
man, last year the fines everybody was talking about it because everybody kept posting pictures of the fine list.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
One thing, and I hate bringing it up because he won't come on our show. He won't have me on his show. But Luke, he interviewed Rocker, and Rocker said he was so upset when he went out there, and he looked, and Clay Smith got a bigger fine for intimidating the judge in the team roping than Rocker did in the bareback run. He goes, a team roper is more intimidating than me? A team roper. It was just hilarious.
Which Rocker's 4'9", so yeah.
If he brought Uncle Tommy Shane in there, who's just jacked and stacked, then if he brought his Uncle Tommy Shane in there, who is just yoked out, then they might.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man.
All right, so you guys.
Joe Bob fined me last year for taking too long in the box because anything over 45 seconds they'll fine you, and he fined me for 45.7 seconds.
Thanks, Joe Bob.
Thanks, Joe Bob. We ain't even made it to 46 yet.
Yeah, I hadn't even just round down. Unless it hits 46, round down to 45.
Jeez Louise.
Man. All right. Well, so you guys vote. Let us know who you think our round 2 rodeo bum is. Now, I know I can get a hold of Matt Reeves. I don't know how to get a hold of Rocker Steiner. I don't know how in the world we're going to mail him something, but
I can make that happen.
We'll figure it out. So Charlotte says Stetson. I feel like we're going with like hard luck award is what our rodeo bum award has turned into. But let's keep that open. We'll decide today. We'll decide. So if you guys know who you want to get our rodeo bum award today, let's hear it in the comments. So I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have ever heard of Branded Buzzworm, Will, but they have this T-shirt.
My favorite shirt in the world.
Buckle Bunny Pimp.
Yes.
I feel like they're onto something here. So we've got shirts and coffee cups and all the things. So if you guys,
I think Rocker needs that shirt, not the rodeo bum shirt.
That kind of fits. Yeah.
Actually, you're probably right. We probably should send him the Buckle Bunny Pimp shirt.
Oh my goodness.
Sure. Man, thank you guys so much. We're a little past our 1 hour mark, but I think we talked about everything. Did we talk about the tie-down roping?
Oh, we did not. I overshot that one. Hey, and that was my big win on my fantasy team. Caleb Schmidt smoked the run last night. I believe I got to get the right thing up here, but he run through one last night. He was 7-4, I believe. Tie-down roping.
7-3.
Yep. Haven was second with a 7-4.
7-4, 7-6, 7-7.
And
so
that's
my guys,
pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive those times because all the guys I talked to said the calves are going to be good, but they were bigger. So that means guys flanked good, and sounds like they did a good job.
They just set their runs up. Tough Cooper 7-6. I mean, talk about rodeo, and I mean the man put 100,000 miles on his truck in a month to make the NFR, and right. I mean he missed the barrier on his first one, but still run through him at the back end. And then, like I say, I didn't watch it last night, but 7-6, he's roping sharp. The first round, even though he missed the barrier, Tough did. He looked sharper than he has in the past. There, that he looks healthy, I guess, is what it is.
Yep. Yeah.
Can't count him out for sure. All right.
I thought the last couple years he's kind of fallen off and maybe gotten a little skinny, and he's a big frame guy, and it looked like he kind of bulked back up and put some muscle on, and he looks good.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to go. He's out there to do work and win a lot of money. So, but you've got Haven. He's 16-2 on 2, winning the average. Corey Solomon, he's placed, and you say quiet. He was 8-7, won 6, 5th and 6th first night, 7-7 last night, wins 4th. But he's placed twice, and Corey's the only guy that's actually placed in both rounds so far. So. You watch him. If he keeps just doing that, he's just going to keep picking away at him, and he will give himself a shot, at a gold buckle at the end of it too. So
for sure.
So one of the things that I heard, kind of the controversy in the calf roping, was Caleb's wrap in a hui. They were talking about it. The wrap has to go around 3 legs, but the hui doesn't have to go around all 3, which is good because his hui only went around 1.
Your hui could split the dew club as long as you got a full wrap and then a hui. That's what the rule book reads.
Yeah, that's one guy I'm not going to argue with about taking chances or putting a wrap and a hui on one. He's got 4 gold buckles for a reason.
Well, and that was so uncharacteristic for him to miss the first one. That calf kind of stepped off there and he tried it on him. But then again, that might have.
But look out, because if he missed the first one, he's fixing to get nasty.
I was going to say, he 2-looped the first one. He's 16 on him. He can still come back and win the average because he may just be 7 on the rest of them and make 100%. Up that. So.
And he's a guy to do it too.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And Pockets is the ultimate horse in that pin, that situation. It's going to be fun to watch. And for my pro fantasy dreams and my daughter's hopes of that truck and trailer they give away at the end, she really hopes he stays hooked and wins it all. I'm just excited. My pro fantasy team they're all in the average. We still have a shot at the average with all of them. And that's a cool million if my whole pro fantasy team wins every average.
I don't think I have to worry about that.
Hey, when they were doing the calculations at Teton Ridge and Pro Fantasy, like, not going to happen. Possible, but not plausible. Yeah, we're going to add $1 million. Will, we really appreciate you taking time out this morning. I know you get a lot of requests to go on a lot of shows. I know you're on Flint's today there at the convention center. We appreciate it, man. I'm excited for you to the rest of the week, and I'm calling you my prediction. The only predictions we're making for the round is the guests we have on with the event they're in, and I'm calling Will Loomis wins the round tonight. You're going to get your finals rolling tonight, win the round, and get rolling for the rest of the week.
I appreciate it. Yeah, man, we got to get it going. So,
but thank you for coming on. Enjoy the rest of the time out there. Hey, tell everybody I said hello, but tell your dad that I said hello. I mean, he's one of my favorites. I had so much fun with him at the college finals there, putting neck ropes on and hanging out at the chutes that year. But give him my best and good luck the rest of the week. And we truly appreciate you coming on this morning.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Thanks, Will. I'll be hounding you after the new year.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, let's get together.
Yes, sir. Have a wonderful week and have fun.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, man. What a great show this morning. We did a lot of talking about a lot of different things, and that's what this show is all about, Tony. Like, we get on, and you just never know where we're going.
We zig and we zag and we call audibles, but that's what this format that you and Jim Boy created in 2020 is about. We highlight and recap the rounds and sometimes we do predictions. It just depends, but we've been very fortunate. The last 2 days, we've had 2 outstanding guests, and they're both products of college rodeo. Yep. Will Loomis, Marcus Terrio, both have come through the college rodeo ranks. They're both well-spoken young men. And like I say, I'm calling Will a young man because he was 18 when I first met him. But it's just their knowledge, their insight of what's going on there in Vegas is so much fun. And like I say, I'm very grateful that they take time out to come on our show. And this platform that we have, that I'm very grateful to be part of, that you and Jim Boy created. I'm honored to be on here with you guys. And I think we bring a different look and a different type of show than what they can get on the Cowboy Channel. And I think it's been great.
I think when we first started, I never imagined that we would actually be able to get contestants like NFR qualifiers because
Right.
I mean, first of all, who wants to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning after being there for so many rounds? But
think about it though. The two we've had on are from the East Coast, so they're 2 to 3 hours ahead anyway. So 8 o'clock there is usually 9, 10, or 11 your time.
Yeah. So just looking at, it doesn't look like we have a guest Monday morning.
Maybe
just
we'll
yet.
have Jim Boy back.
What's that?
Maybe we'll have Jim Boy back.
Yeah, our guest tomorrow is going to be Jim Boy. But we do have Doug Champion coming in on Tuesday. Dennis Anderson, Jim Boy was talking about the song that was written about the slack round at the NFR. So this is the gentleman that wrote that song. So he's going to join us. Hopefully he's going to play a tune or two or one. I mean, who knows? We're going to have a concert. And then CJ Aragon, we have Jill Franzen on Friday, which she's probably got more stories that she can't share than what she could. And then, final predictions. Man, we got a good week lined out. I do have another one that I'm super excited about. We've got some conflicts in days, so I'm still working on that. I'm not saying anything. I'm just telling you, it's pretty cool. Also, this one, I will tell you, this is one of those that I like message on Facebook. And I told Tony and Jim Boy, they're like, nah, she's too busy. And I'm like, well, I'm going to ask because all she's going to do is say no, whatever. So we're working on it. So I'm hoping to get that one worked out. So if there's somebody that you guys want to see, or you want us to go out on a limb and try to get on, message us, comment, tag them. We'll see what we can do. The other thing, I feel like we're getting to where we need to split our time up and have two guests on and just have them come in. We're going to have segments of our show now.
Segments. I love it.
So, all right, let's throw this up one more time. I don't want to see this one. No, just kidding. So our round winner is, spoiler alert, 180, Tony Branquinho. So whatever, that's enough. Shout out to Cinch Jeans for always making us look good, or trying. Anyways, they do a good job. Next one is Garden City Community College. I'm super grateful to have Jim Boy. I know that most of the time he's supposed to be at work and he's hanging out with us. So we give a shout out to Garden City Community College. We also want to thank Branded Buzzworm and their Rodeo Bum brand. We're super excited to have them on board. They supplied my backdrop this year, which for those of you that have been watching, this has not fallen yet. So let's hope it doesn't. And of course, the subscription-based virtual recruitment community for rodeo coaches and student athletes. And Tony did not give me his logo.
Today, it's coming.
180 Project. If you guys don't know what's going on, or maybe you didn't know Tony before this, he has gone through some massive transformation in the last, let's see.
3 years.
Yeah, 4 years. We've been doing this since 2020.
Yeah.
So that was the first time that you were a guest, and let's just say you look a lot different.
Well, I love when you said you got the text the other day. That's the same guy. You're like, yeah, he's half the man he used to be. So I will get you that logo, and So
yeah, listen, we thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like what you see, we're working hard. We would really like to be in Vegas. I have big plans for the recruitment platform to be in Vegas next year, which hopefully I'll be able to bring the NFR Hangover with me. So if you guys like what you see, shoot us some stars so we can have a cup of coffee. We love that.
Shoot us some stars, or just share it with your friends. Let your friends know about it. We want to get as many people watching as we can, and because we enjoy doing this. This is a passion project. Like I say, we're not trying to get rich. We're not. This is something we enjoy doing. All three of us, Heidi, Jim Boy, and myself, we just all have unique connections and background and knowledge, and we enjoy getting on here and doing it. So we appreciate everybody watching. You guys, it's been fun. Tomorrow, our guest will be Jim Boy Hash, our co-host, we hope. So tune in. We'll recap round number 3, kind of make some predictions around number 4. And like I say, 3 rounds in, we'll have a kind of an idea how the finals are shaping up and shaking out. So catch us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 8 o'clock out there on the West Coast. Don't miss us. Please share. We appreciate it, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.